Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome for all students for the last chapter first material. Jadi selamat datang di materi pertama untuk bab terakhir di kelas 5 which is chapter 9. This week we will focus on the listening. Jadi kita bakal fokus ke listening. And next week there will be a full quizzes test. Jadi bakal full test quizzes. Okay, let's begin. And if you don't have any materials that you remember, you can visit my YouTube channel and visit and see the YouTube videos from there. Jadi kalau ada materi yang ketinggalan bisa ditonton di YouTube saya. So today we will talk about 7 different animals and listening audio also. First, we will start from the first one, the snake. So let's listen to what this animal is all about.
This is a reptile called a horned viper snake. It lives in the Sahara Desert in Africa, where it's very dry and hot. It likes to bury itself in the sand, where it waits for its prey. Lizards and birds are its favorites.
Okay, so ini adalah reptil yang bernama horned viper snake alias ular bertanduk berbisa. Jadi tinggalnya di gurun Sahara, in Sahara Desert in Africa, and it is very dry and hot. Jadi di sana itu memang kering dan panas. And this snake likes to bury itself, jadi suka mengubur diri sendiri. Soalnya nunggu mangsa, bukan karena hobi. Because it waits for the prey like lizard and birds. Jadi nungguin mangsa kayak kadal atau burung, for example. And these are the pictures of a horned viper snake. Ya, dinamakan horn karena dia ada tanduk di atas matanya. Now we will go to the next one, which is this, it's an insect, jadi serangga. Let's listen about what it is.
The stick insect looks like the twigs and branches of the trees it lives on. It lives in forests all over the world and likes to eat the leaves of the trees. It's nocturnal, so it spends most of the day keeping very still, hidden in plants and trees, so birds don't see it and eat it. It eats leaves and other small bugs.
Stick insect alias serangga tongkat ini bentuknya kayak like a branch or twigs. Jadi bentuknya kayak ranting pohon. Dia memang kayak ranting pohon. And because of this, it can camouflage. Jadi karena ini dia bisa kamuflase seperti sekitarnya. And it lives in forest all over the world. Jadi ada di hutan seluruh dunia. Jadi dia termasuk spesies yang biasa. And likes to eat leaves. Jadi dia suka makan daun. And also small bugs. Jadi serangga kecil yang lain. It's a nocturnal animal, hewan yang beraktivitas di malam hari. And during the day, di siangnya dia biasanya hiding. Jadi diam-diam aja, sembunyi in the plants or trees. Jadi supaya burung itu nggak memangsanya. And these are the pictures of stick insects. It looks like a stick or twigs, jadi bentuknya memang kayak ranting pohon, and it's very slim, benar kayak lidi. So let's go to the next animal, which is a bird we call eagle. Tapi eagle jenis apa? Let's listen.
This bird lives in the Swiss mountain ranges. It's a golden eagle, one of the largest birds of prey. It's used to living in cold conditions, and it makes its nest high up in the mountain rocks. It eats hares, foxes, and birds which live on the ground.
Okay, so golden eagle alias elang emas. So the habitat is the Swiss mountain ranges, di baris pegunungan Swiss, and it lives in the cold condition, tinggal di kondisi yang dingin. And it eats hares, foxes, and birds. Jadi dia sukanya makan hares alias kelinci, foxes, rubah, and birds, burung lain. Yang mereka yang hidup di bawah di tanah. It is a big bird. If you don't believe me, you can look at these pictures. Ini bentuknya besar juga, besar banget. Alright, and the next one is a frog. What kind of frog? Let's listen.
This amphibian is called an African dwarf frog. It lives in freshwater rivers and ponds in Africa where it is cool. It's called a dwarf frog because it's so tiny. It eats bloodworms and water fleas and spends most of its time underwater.
Yeah, so the next one is the amphibian. Ini yang hewan amfibi, katak. You can say like katak kurcaci Afrika. Because the name is dwarf alias kurcaci, the size is very small. Ukurannya sangat dingin. And it likes cool habitat. Dia suka tinggal di habitat yang dingin. And most of its time is spent underwater. Jadi sebagian besar waktunya dia habiskan buat tinggal di dalam air. And its favorite food is bloodworms, jadi cacing darah, and water fleas alias kutu air. These are the pictures of African dwarf frog. Nah, as you can see, it's small. Jadi betul memang kecil. Smaller than the common frogs, lebih kecil daripada katak pada umumnya. And the next one is, it's like a deer, seperti rusa, but it's not a deer. Let's listen what it is all about.
This animal lives in the African savanna, where it is hot all year round. It's a medium-sized mammal called an antelope, and it likes to eat a lot of grass. It has horns to protect itself from predators, such as lions and hyenas.
Yeah, the name is antelope, and its habitat is in the savanna or sabana. Sabana is like a huge wide grass field, jadi daerah pada rumput yang luas. It's usually also for horses or oxen, jadi biasanya untuk kuda atau mungkin buat bison atau lembu. And the medium size, and it has horns, jadi dia memang punya tanduk. Dia bertanduk supaya melindungi diri dari lions, dari singa dan hyenas. And these are the pictures. Okay, these are the antelopes. Jadi bentuknya memang bertanduk. Dia kayak rusa tapi dia punya tanduk. The next animal is a seal alias anjing laut, but it's bigger. Jadi yang berukuran lebih besar.
The elephant seal is an aquatic mammal that lives in the Antarctic. It is extremely cold, but the elephant seal has a lot of fat on its body to help to keep it warm. It spends most of its time hunting fish, octopus and squid under the water.
Okay, anjing laut gajah. It's bigger than the usual seal, lebih gede daripada anjing laut pada umumnya. And it's a mammal, jadi mamalia, and lives in the Antarctic, alias Antartika, daerah yang dingin. But they don't get cold, mereka tidak kedinginan, because they have a lot of fat, mereka banyak lemak. Because they have a lot of fat, mereka tetap hangat, karena mereka punya banyak lemak. And it spend most of its time, jadi dia punya hobi berburu. Berburu fish, octopus alias gurita, and squid alias cumi-cumi. These are the pictures. It is really fat, gendut banget. But it withstands the cold, jadi tahan rasa dingin. And the last animal, if you can see, it's a clownfish. Let's listen.
A clownfish lives in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, where the sea is warm. It's called a clownfish because it's very colourful and active. It eats algae, which are small plants, and small fish, and it lives around anemones, which help protect it from predators.
Alright, so jadi clownfish itu sebutannya kenapa badut? It's because it is colorful and active, karena aktif dan juga warna-warni. And the habitat is in oceans, Indian and Pacific Oceans, jadi di Samudra Hindia dan Pasifik. Di situ lautnya agak hangat. And it eats algae alias alga, tumbuhan kecil dan juga hewan ikan kecil yang lain. Okay, so that's the clownfish, and these are the pictures. I think you are familiar with the movie Nemo ya. Kalau kalian familiar atau kenal dengan film Nemo, the Nemo is a clownfish, while Dory is not. It's a Dory fish. Okay, so that's the last material for this week. Remember, next week we will have full quizzes. Jadi minggu depan akan full quizzes. Jadi kalau kalian mau, kalian silahkan tonton lagi bila kalian lupa atau you miss any materials. So thank you very much and see you again next week. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.